Looks like we won't be joining the party.
I can see why this place is the stuff of cautionary bedtime stories.
Not to mention why the Abbey's keeping way the hell away.
We shouldn't let our guard down. But this place could still be a good chance to hone our combat skills.
Indeed. Most everything we fought here seems to follow a pattern. This is a good place for tactical training.
If we ever end up on another island like this one, we should probably come prepared for the kinds of enemies we'll face.
We've been to all of the Class 4 islands now.
No matter how many monsters we beat up, they just keep coming!
After years of neglect, malevolence has seeped into the very bones of those places. No matter how many times we hunt them, more come.
Well, I can't complain. They make for good training.
You look pretty happy, Eleanor.
I am. When I think about how we've gone into places too dangerous for the Abbey and aided the public's safety, it makes me feel good.
Sticking your neck out for the Abbey when it wouldn't do the same for you sounds like a fool's errand to me.
I don't think so. There's a certain strength to be gained in doing things like that. That snake Artorius.
They say flowers have different meanings and stuff, right? Any idea what princessias signify?
Betrayal.
Oh?
All right, that's enough for today.
Thanks for teaching me, Arthur. Your techniques are so amazing. Where did you learn them?
They came from my own master, a man named Claudin. He developed them himself.
Wow, they're so graceful. I wish I could move like that.
I've taught you the forms, but for some reason your execution deviates from the ideal.
Well, my body just kinda moves on its own.
You're a handful, Velvet. But I will say you do resemble Claudin some. He was a strange person himself. He always wore this peculiar cape, for instance.
Cape, you say?
Deep down, Claudin was strong like fire, vivacious like water, steadfast like earth, and free like wind. I can't help but admire him to this day.
Wow, I'd love to meet him.
Sadly, that's impossible.
Is he dead?
Yes, he is. He died to protect me. That's why I...
No way. The events recounted in this book happened 300 years ago. It can't be the same Claudin.
Velvet, are you okay?
I'm fine. Don't mind me.
King Claudin was quite strong, wasn't he?
He was more than just that. He's the most well-loved and trusted king in our history. Or so the book claims.
To this day, all of Midgard's rulers claim to be direct descendants of King Claudin Asgard. Knowing that, there might be meaning behind them bestowing Artorius with the grandiose title of Shepherd. I could see it as an attempt to recreate the same glory enjoyed by the Hero King who ended the Dark Period.
If that's true, it's a childish ploy. The world's not so easily changed.
I wouldn't be so sure. What matters is that the title inspires hope in the people, who in turn give him their support. Then, as their shepherd, he can guide his flock in any direction he pleases.
If Artorius knowingly accepted that title, we can be sure he's fully committed to his cause.
Oh, he's certainly committed. I've seen just how far he's willing to go.
Lord Artorius, I have successfully translated all of the documents left by your predecessor. However, I have concluded that, for the time being, it is impossible to form pacts with all 4 Empyreans.
As I feared. Not even my predecessor could achieve more than 2. I suppose using the 5th Empyrean is my only option.
Is that even acceptable? Doing so would require...
I will do whatever needs to be done. I betrayed my teacher. I betrayed the mission he gave his life for, that he entrusted in my hands. For a time I thought I could bear the weight of my sins and go on living, with Celica by my side. But now, she's gone.
Yes.
Man can turn reason into disorder, but also can we surpass it? Our true power is in transcending the possible to achieve the ideal. I must bring about the ideal world. I couldn't protect the people I loved. But this, at least, I will accomplish.
Arthur?
Huh? What is it, Velvet?
Were you just talking to someone?
No, I was just thinking out loud.
Oh, okay. I finished making dinner. Tonight is prickle boar stew. Plenty of meat, but not too heavy.
Sounds great. Let's hurry on back home, then.
I don't know exactly what all that means, but it kinda sounds nice.
I suppose. Actually, it doesn't make much sense to me either. It's too dense for me. It's hard to believe that King Claudin, the former head of the Exorcists, and Artorius' teacher were all the same person.
It's not so unbelievable. Melchior was using the same oath. I'd even go a step further and say that Melchior was imitating Claudin to get in his inner circle.
Hold on. You didn't happen to know Claudin, did you?
Afraid not. I never met the man in person. But I knew he had enough quirks to really get the old geezer's goat sometimes. I mean, he gave up wealth and power to protect the world as an exorcist. The man lived for his work in the same way that a fish lives to swim in the sea.
And Artorius is the one who took his place.
For now, let's just focus on getting to Lorngan. Listen, Velvet. If nothing else, I think you should find the truth for your own sake.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So, our young head exorcist, racked with despair and helplessness, gave everything up and headed to the east! So then, to Eastgand, I guess?
Maybe to Aball.
Velvet, why don't we stop in Aball? I feel like we're being called there.
Yeah, I feel it too.
I think I understand Artorius' past now.
Yeah. No matter who you are or how far up the chain you climb, life never entirely goes your way.
You said it. As much as he claims to be a man of reason, he still managed to give in to sentiment enough to plant flowers here.
Not only can he not protect the ones he loves, he can't even permit himself to be free.
Indeed. But I think that's human nature, too.
I suppose. But I'd also say he has an inner strength like no one else. He lost his master and his wife, and yet he overcame those failures to rise again as the shepherd.
I get that. But it doesn't absolve his crimes. I have to settle the score with him.
Yeah.
I'll be with you until the very end, Velvet.
Are you sure that's really something you want to say in front of your sister's gravesite?
All the more reason. She should hear this.
Toidles, keeping tight circles. Oh, perfect timing, Eizen. I's got a letter for yous.
A letter?
Did you get a reply to that letter you sent? What's it say? What's it say?
I know everything that you've done. Repent for your horrendous deeds, you monster.
What did you do, Eizen?
No idea. There's no sender written on here either.
Who would write something so awful?
Who cares? If I gave a damn about other people's feelings, I wouldn't be a pirate.
I suppose that's true.
Forget about it. What's the status of the other stuff?
The Palmier made it just fine. But we've run into some troubles finding the Nordals. My deepest apologies.
What are Nordals?
Nordals used to be given out by Empyrean temples. If you collect a set of 4, you'd find happiness. Oh, so they said. Nowadays, there's only 4 left. Red, blue, green, and black. Even worse, nobody hardly knows nothing about them.
Dolls of the Empyreans. Do you think they're like that one we saw of Aminoch in that shop in Isolt?
Kind of. But these are less gloomy looking and more, how can I describe it?
Something like a quiet radiance?
A quiet radiance. That's perfect!
I think I get it.
I'd never have pegged you as a collector of religious claptrap, Eizen. Think they'll help keep the Reaper away?
Probably not. But in the off chance they actually work, they'll keep her safe.
Her? Hey, that letter Eizen sent off earlier was addressed to a woman, wasn't it?
Our little Laphicet is growing up.
No, I wasn't implying she was his girlfriend. Her writing just seemed more mature, and...
It's nothing like that. She's my younger sister.
I didn't know you had a sister.
She's the only family I have left. She and I live apart for various reasons.
I'm guessing your death curse is one of them, huh?
Magilou!
So that's why. I'd be happy to help you look for those dolls, Eizen.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, then. Thanks.
This Nor doll. It looks a lot like Grimoire and Bienfu, but there's something different about it that I can't quite put my finger on.
I agree. Those two are positively gloomy, but this doll seems calming, yet glamorous too.
Like I said, a quiet radiance.
Yeah.
You think so? I think it's more lethargic or absent-minded, like it can't tell what's going on in its head. Either way, I'm 1,000 times cuter than that thing.
What's cute about you? People who keep their faces covered are creepy.
I don't know. There's definitely something off about it. It's charming, but a little ominous. Like I can never entirely be at ease around it, if that makes sense.
You think so? Actually, I think it's cute. It reminds me of a little baby.
You think this looks like a baby?
I remember when my sister was about as small as that doll. She had the tiniest little hands, and she tried to grip my pinky as best she could.
Really?
I'd take my pinky with her fingers wrapped around it and poke her cheek, and she'd just be all smiles. I swore to myself I'd always do whatever I could to protect her. Once she got a little older and started fixing meals, lots of weird things began to happen around us. Wherever we went, she was in danger. Demons attacked us. A dragon tried to kidnap her. That's when I first realized what it was that I carried. That the cause of all my sister's pain was my blessing, my Reaper's curse.
So, you left her behind and went on your search for a way to break the curse.
Right. And that's when I met Aifread. It was from him that I first heard about the Nordals. He thought the stories about them were all just baseless rumors.
I guess we'll never know for sure unless we gather them all. But...
What is it?
I think something good will happen once they're all together.
Why do you say that?
Well, because we found this doll, you shared some of your past with us. That makes me kinda happy. So I think we should get the other three, so more happy stuff happens.
Hard to argue with you there.
Turtles! Turtles! Boil oysters in the cloisters! Oh, got another letter for you, Eizen.
Okay.
Maybe it's from your sister this time.
You want to read it?
Me?
Please allow me. Now then. Your cruelty knows no bounds. You bring deep sadness to a fair maiden's heart with each passing day. Repent or else I'll be forced to intervene. This is your final warning. And that's it.
Wow, this person sounds really mad.
Eizen, what did you go and do to make the fair maiden cry?
I don't know, but I could try a couple things on you.
Ooh, excuse me if I forget to be scared.
The letter mentions a fair maiden. Do you think it refers to your sister?
What?
Oh, you could be onto something. She must be lonely so far away from her brother.
It sounded like she's pretty fond of you.
Are you suggesting that Eizen's sister wrote these letters? I mean, they're certainly unusual, but...
My sister wouldn't write something like this.
Then maybe it's someone who's spending a lot of time around her. Like, oh, a man whose shoulder she cries on.
Damnation, Magilou! My sister doesn't have any guy clinging onto her! Do you know something I don't? Prove it! Bring him here right now!
Calm down, Eizen. No one's saying that.
But if you're really that worried, why don't you go see her? Have you not done that since you left?
I did go back once, a long time ago. But as soon as I showed up, a crowd started to gather. Overcome by malevolence, they turned into demons and attacked my sister then and there.
Do you think it's your fault that happened?
What do you think? I'd moved us to a safe place, low in malevolence and high up a rugged mountainside.
So much for coincidence.
I haven't gone back to see her since.
Changing topics, I know I said these Nordals were a little off, but I think I'm starting to see that as part of their appeal.
Huh?
My point is, no matter how odd it might be, any gift could make a girl happy if it's given from the heart.
Ha, sorry. You can't have one.
That's 3 Nordals collected, and 1 to go.
Right.
Usually that turtle shows up right about now. What gives? Turtles, loiters, embroiders?
You mean, the Turtles is late because he's taking too much time getting a new design for his robe?
I knew you could follow along, my dear little oyster.
Should we wait for him a bit longer? I'm sure your sister's reply has to be arriving soon.
I don't write her those letters expecting to get a reply. They're more like an apology for not coming home to see her.
But you can't go home because of the Reaper's curse, right? So why do you need to send letters and gifts?
Soon after I left, my sister wrote me a letter. She said, I don't care if it's dangerous. I want to be with you. Maybe the old me, once I realized there was no fixing this curse, would have gone home prepared to do everything in my power to protect her. But I'm not the old me. Haven't been since I met Aifread and his crew.
I understand. You found your place on that ship. Even if you lifted the curse, you wouldn't move back home.
Do you think your sister knows that?
I haven't told her directly, but I'm sure she's realized it. She's smart, and she's empathetic. That's why she never sends me a reply.
You mean because she respects that you've chosen your way of life?
That's probably how she sees it, yes. But understanding does not preclude loneliness. I think she doesn't reply as a way of showing that she disapproves.
And you keep on sending those letters by way of atonement.
I don't think it's anything so noble as that, but sure. You're probably not too far off the mark.
A brother writing letters knowing he'll never get a reply. And a sister waiting for a brother she knows will never come home.
You two make it so damn complicated. Just talk it out face to face and make up already. It's not that hard. At least the person you care about is still alive.
Velvet.
Are we done here? Let's go.
At last, the Nordal set is complete! Hooray! Go us!
Turtles! Turtles! Just in time for the winner circles. Your detective skills truly put mine to shame.
It wouldn't have taken so much time and effort if you'd been willing to help us look. But you'll make it up to us with a suitable discount next time we trade.
Can't you give me a break?
Never mind. Do you have anything for us?
I do minds that. But yeah, here's another letter for Eizen.
Another one? I will keep this missive short as my patience with you has expired. Come to the prison island and face your judgment. I will not blame you if you run, but I will consider you a heartless coward of a brother.
Oh, this sounds like a challenge to a fight. Now we're talking my language. Let's get going.
Whoever this is, they're just trying to get under your skin. Why not let it go and move on?
This is the 3rd letter, not counting any that might not have reached us. I say we should go nip this in the bud.
Yeah, I think so too. If we just keep ignoring it, something might happen to Eizen's sister.
Exactly. I can't allow that. I want to head to Titania and settle things.
I don't see any exorcists, at least.
They must have pulled a runner once they were finished here.
If our challenger knew that when selecting this location, I suspect we're in for a serious fight.
We need to stay careful.
I got another letter for you, Eizen.
Hey, are you okay? What does it say?
I can't read it right now. One of you do it.
Okay. Dear brother, I got your letter. Not sure why it was so tattered. I'm glad that you were able to tell me how you really feel, even though it was beyond obvious by now. Your clear descriptions of the self-defense Moloch arts allowed me to master them quickly, despite your terrible grammar. As weird as it feels writing this to a pirate, good luck with your work, and I know how to keep a secret. So please keep writing me letters. My life doesn't revolve around them, but I do enjoy hearing from you. I can't see the oceans you sail from my perch here on the mountain, but I'm thinking of you and praying for your safety. And I want you to know I'm doing fine.
Ah, looks like she's just as roundabout and stubborn as her brother. It must run in the family.
There's more. P.S. Thanks for the Nordals. They're not really all that cute, but I guess I like them a little bit. But ever since I got that last one, I hear this voice at night telling me I should write you and be here for you when you need to vent. It's actually rather annoying, but since the doll is a gift from you, I'll make a special exception for it. That's all.
Sounds like she's really got it together.
You know, I don't think we ever asked you her name.
Edna.
That's a pretty name.
Glad you think so. I'm the one who named her.
Huh! Ha! Say!
Hmm?
Say! Ha! Yeah! Whew. That was a good session, if I do say so myself. Tomorrow's drill will be even faster.
I thought he was being a crazy demon again, but come to think of it, this is just him being him.
Say! Ah! Say! Did you need something?
No, not really.
As you say.
Why aren't you training with 2 swords?
This is how I've always trained. 10,000 practice swings a day since I was a kid. I just wanted a single good swipe at Shigure. So I swung, and eventually just naturally got to this point.
That's incredible.
Not really. I need to be prepared to face Shigure at any moment. But I've been thinking I should up it to 100,000 swings.
100,000? Do you have any idea how much time that'll take?
Nah.
Even if you did 1 swing a second, you couldn't do that many in 1 day.
Oh? But 10 swings a second would do the trick.
Rokurou.
Even still, I know it would take more than 100,000 swings to be a match for Shigure. Not with 1 sword or with 2.
And you keep doing it, despite knowing it's pointless? That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to defeat an undefeatable adversary. The whole damned idea is daft, as you put it. All I can do is recognize the fact and give it my best shot.
Well, that's one way of looking at it.
If only I could figure out how to stay up all night and still feel rested. Now there's a challenge I can't beat.
You need to go to bed. A lack of sleep will get you killed faster than a lack of practice.
You're right. I'll do that. Say! Ha!
I see you're at it again.
Am I that predictable?
That stance. It's called nothingness, right? A clear state of mind and all that.
Does it look meditative or something? I wish it was, but really it's the exact opposite. It brings out all my negative thoughts. My hatred, my doubts, my ego, my anger. I take up my sword to cut myself free of such wrongful emotions. At least, that's what I used to think. But that's just not possible, is it? Not for anyone. Hell, even if I could let go of that part of myself, I'm not sure I'd want to.
Because if you let go of your desire to kill Shigure, you'd lose your purpose in life?
My spiteful thoughts, my wrongful feelings, my pride, my inner contradictions. All these are parts of who I am. Through practice, I learn to embrace who I am, the good and the bad, and become the swordsman only I can be. That's the only way I will achieve what cannot be done. Defeating Shigure.
And Shigure. He's already at peace with his inner self.
Exactly. And so are you.
You really think so?
I do. That's why I will never give up. Besides, I still need to repay my debt to you.
Well, I look forward to seeing the final results, that's for sure.
They're quite the crew, aren't they?
Were all those accidents truly caused by your power?
Yeah. I've been searching far and wide for a way to lift the Reaper's curse. But when I couldn't find a single thread to follow on this continent, I turned my eyes to the other side of the ocean.
And that's why you boarded this ship.
And a fine ship she is. The Von Eltia was built from 1,000-year-old wood, you know. Before I found my coin, she was my vessel. But then the accidents came.
And then Aifread stole the ship. Did he know you were on board?
Definitely. He had pretty solid resonance going for him. Although at first, I think he assumed I was just a dour-eyed lubber worthy of little notice.
I suppose being a Reaper tends to take its toll like that.
No argument there. But still, whether they could see me or not, they didn't act any differently at all. I fought my damn curse with everything I had. And Aifread and his crew fought right along with me. Hell, we even finally made it to the far continent.
And you didn't find anything there? To help with your curse?
I didn't even look.
But that's why you went there, isn't it?
Eventually, I just got tired of fighting back. The crew, they taught me how to feel alive. And the joy of pursuing my dreams alongside good friends.
Well, this turned out to be a pretty lively memorial.
To death, we are as equals. It comes to us all. There's no reason to treat it as something special.
Exactly. And besides, we're all pirates here. Wherever we sail, death is always lurking beneath the waves.
You're all prepared for it.
Of course we are.
Eizen, would you mind if I said a prayer for Aifread?
You would? He's the most terrible villain in 100 years.
That's true, but
What if you prayed for Eizen's friends instead? I don't think there'd be a problem with that.
Okay. Is it all right if I pray for your friends instead, Eizen?
I'm not stopping you. Captain, I was more enriched by the days I spent sailing with you than the centuries I roamed in search of something to end my curse. Thanks for the fun, Aifread.
A demon that devours other demons and gets more brutal. That sounds like venomization.
If it's bringing in other demons just to eat them, then yeah. I'd bet it's acting on instinct.
Trying to live and be strong, even if that means eating its fellow demons. Why, that's positively alluring.
And how is that exactly?
You know how when it's late at night and you just know you shouldn't have that snack, but there it is and it's so tempting?
If it's been at this for a while, I bet it'll make for a pretty tough opponent.
Yeah, and if Velvet devoured it, she might become a lot stronger.
It sounds dangerous to me.
To feed or not to feed? That is the question.
I don't know how, but we managed to beat it.
It devoured other demons purely by instinct. Sounds kind of like me, doesn't it?
So you've eaten a few cows, or demons, whatever. When you're hungry, you eat. The only ones who put any moral weight on it are humans. Personally, I wouldn't sweat it too much.
What are you trying to say?
It's fine. I don't really care if I'm seen as a bad guy.
I don't really know how to put it, but I sensed a kind of strength inside that demon. Like a determination to continue living. It was powerful and frightening, but I don't think it was bad.
Figures.
I think I've finally gotten used to it.
Used to what?
Your powers. I think I finally got a handle on them in a way that feels right.
That's good. Hopefully you won't faint anymore.
Yeah, and I'll keep learning too. I hope we can make this work out.
Yeah, definitely. Fingers crossed. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Hey! When you and Eleanor made your pact together, she gave you a true name, right? Was it a good one?
True name? What's that?
It's a special name in the ancient tongue given to a Moloch as a necessary step in forming a pact with a human. I gave Bienfu the name Fushicast. It means thing.
That's pretty messed up.
It's just my own little way of showing affection.
So what kind of name did you get, Laphicet? What's the matter? She didn't give you a really weird name like Magilou gave Bienfu, did she? If you're not happy with it, I can talk to Eleanor about it later. So go on and tell me—
I'm fine with it. And I can't tell you anyway.
Well, you don't have to get so worked up about it.
A true name is not something a Moloch just casually divulges to others. They carry a special meaning to us. Speaking it to anyone other than our Pact Keeper carries a special meaning. Between comrades, it means we trust them with our lives. In other cases, it's
practically a confession of love!
You could have said something sooner, you know.
Laphicet's at a delicate age. You should be more careful in the future.
Oh, really? It's just another way of showing affection.
What was that about, Eizen?
You know something about that treasure chest, don't you?
I think it probably drifted here from the far continent.
Wow, really?
What makes you say that?
It sounds just like something I saw when I was there.
Oh, do go on. I'm all ears.
Let's go give it a look. If we really can't get it to open, I'll cut right through it.
That won't be necessary. I know how to open it. In fact, Aifread was the one who figured it out.
Now I get it. Is that where he found—
Yeah, that's where he found Siegfried.
If that's true, I'd hate to let the Abbey or the Bloodwings get their hands on whatever's inside. Off to Manon we go.
What? That's all it took? Talk about anticlimactic.
I didn't know the ship's name came from the far continent.
Yeah, an engineer who helped design the ship was familiar with technology from there. He probably supplied the name, and by that bizarre twist of fate, Siegfried came into Aifread's hands.
So what's inside? Anything interesting?
It's a book.
Oh, that's so lame. You're killing me here.
It's really old, but it's written in a language I can read. It's titled Research Notes on Siegfried and Its Special Abilities.
Wait, so it's like a manual for using Siegfried?
Yeah. Some of it's missing, but I'm pretty sure.
Another twist of fate!
Fee, keep going. Let's hear more.
Believed to be a relic from the Avarost period, Siegfried utilizes an embedded formula to enable its wielder to manipulate mana. The commonly held belief is that Siegfried can alter, and thereby amplify, the mana of its host. But this is only its most basic capability, which is utilized to initiate and control its true functions.
Its true functions? Does that mean it can do more?
It looks that way. Our analysis suggests that Siegfried was originally created as a specialized anti-dragon weapon.
Oh my, the plot thickens.
To that end, Siegfried can fire volitional bullets that bestow certain special effects upon its targets. These bullets, made from crystallized mana, can cause disabilities depending on the intent with which they have been imbued. Known bullet varieties include one that can sever power links, and one capable of temporarily blocking out the influence of malevolence.
Bullets that block malevolence, huh?
Does it say where these bullets are?
No. Sorry, the rest is too worn to read.
That's all right.
We can't be sure if it's true or not, but it sounds plausible at least.
Eizen, how about we go looking for those bullets?
No, I have no need for them.
But if you had them, you could...
I have other things I need to worry about. And anyway, Siegfried belongs to Zavid now. Laphicet, next time you see him, I want you to tell him what you read.
Are you sure?
Please. I have a feeling he'll track those bullets down, even if he has to cross the whole world looking for them.
All right, I'll tell him. I promise.
Lo, is this another twist of fate in the making? But how, oh how will it turn out?
Can't you be serious just once in your life?
I think she's just saying Eizen's doing the right thing, in her own weird way. And it's true that nobody knows what the future holds.
That's for sure. And I like it that way.
Do you really mean that?
I do. It would be pretty boring to know everything that's coming, don't you think?
That's fair.
It opened! It opened!
Good job, Kamoana.
All right, so what's inside?
Don't you remember? It's supposed to be a secret.
It's one of my mom's recipes. She wrote it down for me so that I could fix it myself when I got older.
That sounds like something really precious. Are you sure you want to share it with us?
Uh-huh. It's supposed to be a secret between me and my mom, but you all saved me when I needed you, and I really want to thank you, so it's okay. Thanks, everyone.
You're welcome, Kamoana.
It's a recipe for mabo curry that my mom came up with just for me. It's the best in the whole wide world.
It looks delicious.
You better have some too, Velvet. You go out there and win. Medusa and me will be cheering you on.
Yeah, I won't back down. I promise.
Hey, teacher. You managed to decipher what the ancient book had to say about Inominat's awakening, didn't you?
Right after we escaped from Titania, yes. I'm just sorry it wasn't of much use to you.
Oh, come on, Grim. I'd say it turned out all right.
That's not for you to decide.
You're not seriously blaming Grim for all that.
No, I'm not. But I'd still like to know anything more specific about Inominat.
Please, tell us what you've learned.
All right. What Inominat needs to fully awaken isn't a large quantity of malevolence, but rather the quality of it, in 8 types. Specifically, he needs despair, hatred, greed, conceit, lust, obsession, cowardice, and selfishness.
If each was assigned to a single Therion, then Velvet would be hatred and Kamoana greed, right?
Medusa would be conceit. Teresa is lust. And Orthrus, obsession?
And cowardice for Griffin. That leaves the Rhino Stagros with selfishness.
But Artorius was trying to steal despair from me. How does that fit in? 8 types of malevolence and only 7 Therions. It definitely doesn't add up. Whatever the case, it seems obtaining this 8th malevolence is the final obstacle before Inominat's full awakening.
I see. That would certainly explain Artorius' behavior. His plan was to foster profound hatred within Velvet, before plunging her into despair.
And he used her brother to do it.
If that's true, gathering all the Therions served a greater purpose. Right now, the Abbey has no means to collect despair.
But with Teresa dead, shouldn't a new Therion have taken her place?
Yeah. But after we killed her, the Abbey still went out of their way to try to capture me. That must mean they haven't been able to secure the new Therion. And even if they did, it wouldn't have to spare.
That's a good point. Artorius spent 3 long years trying to foster the despair within you. If that is indeed the specific type of malevolence Innominat needs, it must not be something one can find overnight.
Right. We need to attack while there's still time.
Indeed. Yet,
Is something troubling you?
yes. It comes down to the very idea of quality where malevolence is concerned. When you talk about the relative quality of something, what you're really talking about is its purity. That would mean that Therions pick out and devour this pure malevolence.
Yeah.
But malevolence by its very nature is impure. Therefore, for some person or creature to become a Therion, they'd need to be responsive to a purity of impurity. Surely few could ever meet such a stringent criterion.
So we don't need to worry so much?
Oh, but I think I know someone who fits that description. Perhaps a certain succession of top exorcists who have tried to suppress and purify the spread of malevolence.
You don't mean...
It's just a concern. For now, at least.
Hey, Rokurou, how'd the showdown with your brother turn out?
I killed him. But I couldn't break Stormhowl.
Is that because Stormhowl was an even stronger sword than Kurogane's?
No. Even with Shigure's full strength behind it, Stormhowl didn't even leave a nick in Kurogane's blade. If I didn't have this sword, I'd be dead now. I think I just couldn't break Stormhowl because I'm still too inexperienced.
But you won the match, didn't you?
Yeah, but only by combining my techniques with Kurogane's craftsmanship.
If that's the case, then as long as you're wielding it, that sword is Stormquell. After all, Kurogane's sword did quell the Godblade's raging storm.
Do you think Kurogane would agree?
Are you kidding? You know how stubborn that guy is. He'd just say he'd forge something even stronger the next time. And that's why I say you shouldn't be satisfied with how you are either, Rokurou.
I know. I'll find even stronger opponents to cut down. By my hand, Kurogane's Stormquell will become even more legendary than Stormhowl ever was.
That's the spirit! Show him what we demons can do!
Hey, Velvet, do the demons you kill turn back into humans?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Remember the demon that attacked us near the coast? When it died, it turned back into a human. Every demon I've killed has stayed a demon. So, I was just wondering what was different.
Do demons stay demons when they die? But what about Nico and the villagers I killed?
Maybe it's just a case-by-case sort of thing.
Who cares? A corpse is a corpse, whether it's human or demon.
Yeah, I guess being human again doesn't help much if you're already dead.
Exactly. All that matters is that the demons I devour make me stronger. Nothing more.
Laphicet, can I ask you a bit of an awkward question? What kind of demon would you say Velvet is?
Well...
Oh, don't worry. I'm not trying to find a vulnerability or anything. I'm only asking out of curiosity.
It's not that I doubt you, Eleanor. I just don't know much about her myself.
You fought against her, haven't you? She consumes her enemies with her left hand and claims their power. She's a demon like absolutely no other. Plunk just about any demon down in front of her, and I bet she could devour it in a single gulp.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much true. Sometimes demons that she doesn't entirely devour turn human again, but...
What? You've seen demons turn back into humans?
Is it that big of a deal?
Of course it is! Everyone knows that once you catch demon blight, that's it. There's no turning back. Although, I did see it happen with the High Priest Gideon. I wonder if there's some kind of connection.
Not that it matters if he turned back, demon or not, he's dead either way.
Whatever it is, it's of no concern to a pirate.
If I were you, I wouldn't worry about what's normal. If things were normal, we wouldn't have found each other.
You have a point.
Sorry I couldn't help, Eleanor.
No, you didn't do anything wrong. But I need to keep digging until I find out more about the kind of demon Velvet is.
So it turns out that Velvet is a Therion who consumes malevolence.
And too much malevolence is what changes people into demons. Strong enough malevolence can persist after the person who created it dies, turning their corpse or spirit into a raging monster. That's how undead and phantom demons come about.
Then the demons Velvet killed turned back into humans because she devoured their malevolence.
Yeah, and consequently, they avoided becoming undead or anything like that.
So she saved them. Well, I mean, a corpse is a corpse, of course.
Do you think she could devour only the malevolence and turn a living demon human again?
Unfortunately, that's impossible due to malevolence's self-reinforcing nature. When Therions are connected to Enominat through an earth pulse point, they seem to be able to absorb small concentrations of malevolence from the surrounding area, and inhibit the creation of new demons. But any human who builds up enough malevolence to turn into a demon will keep producing malevolence as long as they live.
That's right. To devour any malevolence, I need to cut it off at the source. That's how my powers work.
Velvet, I'm sorry.
I don't mind it. Actually, I find it convenient. This way, I'll never forget my hatred for Artorius.
Plus, as long as you stay away from an earth pulse point, you get to keep the power of any malevolence you consume.
Fuel for my hatred, yes.
Using Malachim for their own ends. Is there no line they won't cross?
I hope you're not thinking of doing anything unnecessary.
Oh, like what?
Like thinking about bringing mercy to a broken Moloch.
What I think is necessary and what actions I take are for me to decide.
Eizen!
That Exorcist said they were using the Moloch to get data on a new Moloch art. If it were complete, they could use it against us. Stopping that wouldn't be a waste of our time, would it?
You think you know just what to say to me, don't you?
I'm just stating the truth.
Just so we're clear, we're not going to rescue it.
No argument here.
So what? They were trying to make an enormous bovine Moloch? Was that the best the Abbey could think up?
As if robbing our free will wasn't enough. Now they're trying to reshape Malachim.
I'm so sorry, Eizen. What they did here was terrible.
I don't really care about the callous experimentation. If the Malachim participated by their own free will, then sure, that's their choice. But this one had its free will locked away, and was used and discarded like a mere tool. That's what I can never forgive. And the Abbey is treating countless Malachim the same way.
Sounds like this has gotten you all fired up. Maybe I'm glad we came here.
Oh, believe me, I've been fired up for a good long time. Ever since I decided how I want to live my life.
I'm sorry I talked about your past behind your back. It wasn't my place to say.
It doesn't bother me. You were talking about Magilanica, and Magilanica might as well be dead.
But while we're on the subject, may I ask just one question? It wasn't failing to hold up against Melchior's art that broke your spirit, was it? It was when you realized that he no longer considered you his daughter.
Who can say? I've left my life as Magilanica behind me. I'm not her anymore. I'm the evil witch Magilou who fights alongside the Lord of Calamity!
Well, wherever you go, Miss Magilou, I'll follow you as long as I live!
Well now, Bienfu, you think you can get away with talking about me behind my back?
Huh? Why do you only care that I did it? What about the others?
Yours is not to question.
How could I forget how mean you are?
I'm glad you finally found a place where you can belong.
What is this thing?
That's a special mass of mana. Think of them as the souls belonging to a family of Malachim. They appeared all over after the Advent 3 years ago.
Another after effect of the Advent.
If you collect enough of them, you might be able to solicit the cooperation of a Moloch family.
And I'm supposed to take your word for it?
I'm not forcing you to do anything. Whether you collect them or not is up to you.
I might as well pick them up. I'll use every tool at my disposal.
Indeed. You'll have to if you want your revenge.
Wow, so this is Kat's corner.
I'd never have guessed a place like this existed.
What an adorable little hamlet. You can feel your motivation to get stuff done just floating away.
And look at all the cats!
It's so peaceful here. Kinda makes me want to sit down for a big feast.
Look, over there. Is that the cat's pajamas? I've heard stories.
Oh no! Velvet, don't tell me you're...
Are you allergic to cats? That's why I didn't want to come here.
Are you gonna be okay, Velvet?
Of course, it's not... Eizen told us to come see you. What's all this about a scouting ship?
We're going to explore the outer seas. Oh, let me explain. Beyond the reaches of our kingdom lie vast, open oceans we call the outer seas.
And you're going to explore them? What for?
To make a map of the whole world, of course.
A map of the whole world.
That's right. Aifread's pirates have many ambitions, one of which is the creation of a complete map describing the whole world. In fact, the Von Eltius already sailed all the way to the far continent for that very reason.
That's amazing.
You guys sure dream big.
I still don't get it.
Yeah, me neither. A map of a bunch of places nobody cares about? Big deal.
Well, regardless, if we're going to find anything in the vast waters, we'll need a lot of luck. We'd like to borrow some of yours.
And just how do you plan on doing that?
I want you to use your gut instincts to tell us where to look. In exchange, the Von Eltia will be at your service. And you can keep anything we find in our explorations. You'll be able to assign us new orders from any location by using a kind of messenger bird called a sylph jay.
Who knows? We might even come across some good treasure. Or maybe some rare food. Or brand new recipes.
That's a lot of treasure you could find.
Doesn't sound bad to me. It won't take much of our time, and besides, it could be interesting.
You're right. Okay, as long as I'm not responsible for how things turn out, I guess I can help.
All right, then I'll tell you what you need to know.
The map's getting filled in little by little.
There's still a long way to go. It's a big world out there.
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot can happen on the waves. The far seas are unexplored territory for a reason.
I'd imagine so. The seasons and the weather can change the sea completely.
Oh. Do I sense a budding interest in the sea?
Think you're feeling less apathetic about it now?
I wouldn't say that. I was just reminded of something someone once said to me.
The exploration of the outer seas is going super well.
Yeah. It's all thanks to you guys chipping in.
Oh, we haven't done all that much.
Well, don't rest on your laurels just yet. Worse things happen at sea, you know. The scouting ship could always get eaten by some giant tentacled horror from the deeps.
Danger's a part of the job. Besides, Aifread's pirates are all about venturing into the unknown.
I wonder what's still hidden out there for us to find.
Terror Island, for one thing. According to ancient legends, it's an island that moves across the outer seas like a ship.
Really? I've never heard of an island like that.
Nobody knows if it's real or not, which is exactly why we have to try and find it ourselves.
Awesome! I can't wait to get to the bottom of this.
Don't get too excited just yet, kiddo. It's good to have enthusiasm and all, but I bet this place is called Terror Island for a reason.
I'm not too worried. Like Eizen said, challenging the unknown is what Aifread's pirates do, no matter what the risk.
Looks like you've caught the bug too.
Ha, looks like it.
The map's really getting filled out now.
You seem really happy, Laphicet.
Yeah, you just had a big old grin on your face.
Well, yeah, of course. Surely even you have some times when you can't help but smile. Right, Velvet?
I never thought about it. You know, I guess I do. Like when I managed to get the kitchen and the dishes sparkling and spotless.
Oh, I know that feeling. I feel that way when I get the bathtub scrubbed so clean that it's as good as new.
Definitely. Oh, and when I finish hanging a huge load of laundry out to dry on a beautiful sunny day.
Could you not compare this to doing chores?
The scouting vessel just contacted us. They say they found Terror Island.
Terror Island? What kind of place is that?
Eizen was talking about it earlier. It apparently moves around.
It's the damnedest thing. Legends say it's roamed the outer seas since time immemorial. They say it absorbs power from all of existence.
That sounds like it might be connected to Inominat.
We won't know anything more until we go there ourselves. First, we should join up with the crew at the docks in Iseult.
We did it! We completely filled in the world map!
That took a lot of work.
Nicely done. It's a good start, at least.
A good start? You mean there's more?
It's true that we completely explored the outer seas that surround Midgand, but for all we know, a whole new ocean might be waiting on the other side of the far continent, and we've only searched the surface of the outer seas. Who knows what sleeps beneath its waters?
I guess an explorer's job is never done.
Is that a hint of greed I detect? I thought Malakim were above all that.
You guys have lost me again.
Well, Malakim can live for thousands of years. I'm sure you'll finish your map one day.
Assuming you don't become a dragon first.
If that happens, it happens. What matters most isn't that you make your dreams come true. It's
that you pursue them alongside your friends, right?
Oh, look at you, kiddo. You stole Eizen's line right out from under him.
Oh, sorry, Eizen.
Don't worry about it. I really enjoyed making this map with you guys.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know how far I'll be able to go, but it's always about the journey, not the destination.
Oh yeah, the guy at that weapon shop gave me some booze for the trip. I nearly forgot about it.
You really think it's a good idea to drink when we've got demons to fight?
A little drink'll warm me up.
I thought you couldn't feel the cold.
That's true, I suppose. Well, I'm not drinking it anyway. I'm using it for something.
Like what? Got some wounds to clean?
That's one use for it, sure. But I've got something more practical in mind. By pouring it on the pegs that hold the blade and hilt together, the wood will swell and hold everything firmly in place in battle.
You've got such a one-track mind, I swear.
That's just the kind of demon I am.
Hey, Bienfu? I was wondering if I could talk to you about something that's on my mind.
I figured it was just about the time that you and I had the talk, actually. I've seen it all, heard it all, and even tasted it all in my time as a Moloch. Ask me anything you want.
Thanks. I was hoping you could let me borrow those books you were reading earlier, if that's okay.
You mean how to talk a human female into becoming your vessel, and how to get the cuties?
Hey! Keep it down! Keep it down!
But you and Madame Eleanor have already formed a pact. Why do you still need either of those books?
Well, it's like when we're alone together, things get so awkward. It's hard to talk with her, you know?
That happens a lot with Malachiman vessels who are still new to the whole thing. I've been there. In that case, I've got an even better book for you.
Whoa, you read a lot of books.
I'm just an avid learner is all. Now let's see. Oh, here we go. Hot Spring Topics, Bearing Your Body and Your Soul. Being upfront and honest is always the best policy.
I don't think we'll be bathing in any hot springs together. Do you have anything else?
All right, then how about after-bath party games, dropping your defenses and your towels?
Why do you keep trying to get us naked? I think that would just make things even more awkward.
Picky. Tell you what, you can just look at my collection and pick whatever sounds good.
Love hacking, living long and loving hard, diary of a diary thief, hands speak louder than words.
All classics. I remember reading them when Miss Magilou and I were struggling to get along. Oh, to be young again.
You ever think maybe things would have been easier if you never read these books?
Reading the mood. Knowing what to say and how to say it. That one's a winner. A must-read for sure.
Are you two reading something together?
We are. Laphicet's been worried about that awkward distance between you two, and he came to me for some advice. I've heard his side of the story, so let's you and I grab some tea and talk about what to do about it. Come on! Let's go!
Oh, okay.
Knowing what to say and how to say it. I don't think this will help either.
Oh, hey Laphicet. I just fixed up some dashi stew. Mind giving it a taste and telling me what you think?
Sure, it looks good. Don't mind if I do.
So, how is it?
Well, the mochi pouch is really hard.
Yeah, isn't it?
Actually, everything in it was hard. The radish, the fish cake, the beef, the octopus, everything. Is that how you normally like it?
Heavens, no! Dashi stew is supposed to practically melt in your mouth. I must have done something wrong. But I don't get it. All you do is stick the ingredients in the dashi broth and let it simmer. Anyone can do that. I let it all simmer for a good long time and everything is still hard. Even the sticky rice. How does that happen?
Yeah. I wonder where it went wrong.
It's probably the konjac. It can make the meat and the radish hard enough and prevent the mochi from getting soft. What you need to do is parboil the konjac in a separate pot, and then add it into the stew when it's almost done simmering.
Huh. I didn't know it mattered how you put everything together. Is that why the burdock roots turned green too?
Got it in one. It's the same thing that can turn the water pink when you blanch green beans.
Wow, I'd never have guessed. But there's just something so satisfying about throwing everything in as one big heap. It can be hard to resist sometimes.
I understand the feeling. One time, I caught a grasshopper and a praying mantis and got so excited, I put them both inside my bag together.
Let me guess. The grasshopper didn't make it.
No, it did not.
Well, let that be a lesson. Mistakes are okay so long as we learn and grow from them. Huh. I never pegged you as a bad cook, Eizen. What happened?
The Reaper's curse strikes again!
Don't tell me that the curse even affects your own cooking.
Afraid so. If I try to flip meat in a pan, it rights itself in the air and lands square back on the cook's side.
Does that happen with everything you try to flip? What about pancakes?
There's a certain beauty in the dichotomy of golden yellow and dark brown.
And omelets, too?
Eggs are pretty much a no-go.
No eggs over easy. Ouch.
I can't even make mini pizzas.
Wait, but you don't have to flip anything to make those.
If I'm not careful with how I carry them, they end up face down on the floor.
Wow, I'm so sorry.
What a stubborn little curse you carry around.
Just use a spatula.
No, I still have my pride. Now this is what I call a Salisbury steak. Juicy, aromatic, perfectly seared on both sides. It was a long, hard battle getting to this point.
Maybe you should have taken Velvet's advice to use a spatula sooner.
I'm not one to ever surrender before a battle. Anyway, I've come a long way relying only on my bare hands.
But you did ask Kurogane to make you a spatula. That did happen, right?
I don't do things by halves. That's my way.
Eleanor, are you feeling okay?
Why do you ask?
You always seem to enjoy eating, but today you looked like you were struggling a little bit.
Really? Well, I'm not sick or anything. I actually feel even better than normal.
If you say so. Wait, do you just not like quiches?
No, I like them just fine. Velvet makes some great ones, doesn't she? It's amazing when you consider she can't taste them.
I've got it. You hate spinach, don't you?
I suppose there's no point in denying it.
And here I thought you people would eat anything.
I know a lot of people don't like carrots or bell peppers, but spinach? That's a new one to me.
You think so? It's quite bitter and it's got that smell. Kind of grassy or something medicinal, or...
I didn't know you were so picky. Actually, now that I think about it, you had some trouble with the solitoma, too.
It's actually because of the solitoma. I used to love spinach when I was little, but now it just reminds me of... solitoma.
I've had to take solitoma before too, but it had the opposite effect on me. Now spinach tastes sweet by comparison.
So much for the serious, mature woman. Looks like even you have some child left in you. But don't let it get to you. Being a fussy eater is just another way of life. You're in charge of your own plate.
I just don't like spinach. What's the big deal? Besides, I know you all hate it too. I'm talking about the spinach method. Supporting peers in achieving cohesive harmony. It's the foundation of any successful team, and you all completely fail at it.
Okay, so first, what the hell are you dribbling about? And second, I'm not going to be lectured by some wee baby who won't eat her spinach. And you know what? I do what I want. I'm a free woman, and I don't need to live by your rules.
Some of us just aren't cut out for team leadership. We'll leave that to you. You just let us each do our own thing. Am I right, Eizen?
Don't be ridiculous. The spinach method is the first thing every pirate learns if they want to join Aifread's crew. Sometimes the younger sailors forget all the steps. I was just running a refresher lecture on it last night. Eleanor's on the money here.
By the way, Eizen, I'm still waiting on your latest report. I haven't heard anything from you in a while now.
Oh, I was gonna get to that, tomorrow.
I've had it up to here! All right, you three, sit down and listen. Did you not hear me? Sit down and listen! I don't need to live by your rules. Some of us just aren't cut out for it. I'll do it tomorrow. You might as well be toddlers. Our enemy is formidable and well-organized. Some might even say we'd be crazy to take them on. Surely even you three can recognize that any small lapses in cohesion could bring total disaster upon us.
How did we get from spinach to a lecture on team building?
Well, that's going to come in handy.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun to ride, too.
I could get used to this.
I'm so worn out. I feel like I had to sprint the whole way here.
Huh. It seems like operating the board saps a lot of energy from Bienfu.
Even still, this board gives us a strategic advantage. Brave here will just have to bear a little exertion now and then.
Yeah, Brave. Buck up.
I believe in you. Be brave.
Ah! Stop calling me that!
We've found quite a few geotrees so far.
I feel like I've run 3 marathons back to back.
I'm sorry, Bienfu.
That's okay. All this exercise is making me nice and buff.
You're right. You don't look any different, but when I touch you, I definitely feel muscles.
I bet I could even take down Eizen and Rokurou with a single well-placed hit.
I'm not so sure, but okay.
Bienfu, I know we're placing a heavy burden on you with all this Geoboard business, and I'm sorry for that. But we really appreciate it. You've been truly helpful.
Aw, Madam Eleanor, you're too sweet. You're nothing like that mean old Miss Magilou.
How are you coping with your fatigue?
I'm kind of not, actually. In fact, I don't think I'll ever recover, unless you give me a nice massage, Madam Eleanor.
I think I can manage that.
I didn't think that actually work.
I'm quite good at working out those pressure points. I can really grind the butt of my spear in just the right spots and have you feeling refreshed in no time. But I have to warn you, it might hurt a little bit.
What? You know what? Never mind. I'm good. And you don't have to push so hard. Okay, that is refreshing, but ow, 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 ow.
All right. Looks like we found every last geotree.
Yeah, now you can go anywhere on your Geoboard. But all that work has me worn out so much that my body's back to its old flabby self.
We've asked a lot of you, Bienfu, but we couldn't have gotten this far without you.
Did I hear right? I must be even more exhausted than I thought. I could have sworn I just heard Velvet actually thank me for something.
Your ears aren't playing tricks on you, Bienfu.
We're all very proud of you. Thanks so much for stepping up and helping us.
You really come through when the cards are down.
Yeah, thanks for everything, Bienfu.
I've always just felt like I was a scared little Norman. I always hated the name Brave. I didn't think I deserved it at all. So hearing all you scary people accept me as who I am, it means a lot.
You should be proud, Bienfu. Do you see any other Norman traveling with the Lord of Calamity? I think not.
You know, you're right. No other Norman would be so courageous. Just me, Norman Brave.
Now you're talking. That's my sidekick. Although, the fact that you're siding with the Lord of Calamity does make you public enemy number... well, not number 1, but certainly in the top 10. Hope you're ready to deal with the consequences of your poor life choices.
She's not wrong.
Bien! You're all terrible!
Those Bloodwings are definitely a rough crowd.
To be fair, things are never that straightforward when you're dealing with demons.
All that matters is that there's something in it for us if we hunt those Code Red demons. The only thing better than fighting formidable foes is getting paid for it.
Just remember that these Code Red demons are tough enough to make the Abbey shiver. We'd be wise not to underestimate them.
We should talk to those Bloodwings before considering any of the marks. They might have information that will help us prepare.
Yeah, and we better remember to upgrade our equipment.
Right.
I cannot work like this.
Is something wrong, Kurogane?
Well, how do I put it? Hey! Have you guys seen Kamoana around?
Not lately, no.
I haven't seen her, no. Great. She's making me play hide-and-seek with her, but she's surprisingly good at it for her age. Where is that girl hiding? Come out, wherever you are!
It worked!
Whoa! You were inside, Kurogane? Have you been in there this whole time?
Yep, I even asked him if I could first.
I only let her because she threatened to cry if I didn't.
But you still covered for her. That was nice of you.
Yeah, thanks, Kurogane. You're pretty nice.
I told no lie. I don't have a face, so I couldn't have seen her.
I suppose that's technically true.
Laphicet, you won't believe it! Kurogane's armor is actually really roomy inside. I think I might even make it my secret hideout.
I'm not sure Kurogane would like that.
Oh, please, no.
You know what they say, falling off a rock only makes us stronger.
I don't think that's quite how the saying goes. What was that?
Some sort of contrivance using Moloch arts. Probably part of their security system, I'd say.
Obviously.
We should keep our eyes open for any more surprises.
How is it now, Eizen?
I feel like whatever you did caused some sort of change.
Let's just pray they can't change it back anytime soon.
I'll pass on the praying. I've come here to make a mess of this temple, remember?
Ooh, you've got spunk. I like that. As long as you know what you're doing, then.
A candle? What's that doing here?
Oh, I think these were used to keep robbers away, like wards around old kings' tombs. I've read about this. There's a trick to the stone. It reacts to heat.
Heat, huh? Then there's only one thing to do.
This is a dual-layered barrier. It's the Abbey's new invention.
So it's two barriers working in tandem, then.
That sure sounds like a hell of a lot of trouble just to stop people from coming in.
It really does.
It won't open. Is there some sort of trick to it?
Well, you could always try busting through it, but I wouldn't. Who knows what sort of traps you might trigger?
I know. Look at that diamond-shaped stone in the door. Haven't we seen that somewhere else?
You're right. It was on the pedestal with that chalice.
That huge thing? You must have some sharp eyes there.
I was more interested in what was inside that chalice.
So, what? That chalice is the key?
Somehow I doubt it'll be that simple. Some stones are colored and some aren't. It must hold some kind of significance.
I think you're right.
So, how does it taste? I hope it's good.
It's a nice, consistent flavor. You've come a long way, Laphicet.
Whew, that's a relief. Thanks.
Everything from the prep work to the measurements follows the recipe to perfection. It's very you. I bet you'd be great at making pastries.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying to make some.
So long as you're all right with some simple things, I'd be happy to teach you.
That would be great. I also want to try making my own ingredients from scratch.
You don't have to go that far. You can just buy them from shops.
Yeah, but still.
Oh boy, I know how this story goes. First, it starts simple enough. You want to mix up something like curry powder. Then you'll be kneading noodles, growing sourdough starters, churning butter, and before you know it, you'll wind up fermenting miso and distilling spirits. Then comes the next phase. You'll grow your own rice and beans and raise your own animals. It's a road I've been down myself.
You have?
Yeah, out on this remote island. I even built a private salt pond where I can cultivate natural salt just the way I like it.
That's amazing!
So how far does this path lead?
It only ends when you've decided you've had enough. I won't lie to you, Laphicet. It's a hard road. But if you're really serious, I'll teach you the ropes.
I'm super serious. Please teach me everything.
If that's what you want to do, I say go for it. Eating is a vital part of life. Might as well enjoy your food on as many levels as you can.
The Rangetsu style applies equally well to the kitchen. Look at how perfectly chopped everything is.
Yeah, and it's got a nice clean taste too, but with literally everything chopped to super tiny pieces, it all just ends up one texture.
That's not true. Look at how I do vegetables. For stir-fry, I cut them super tiny, but for juices, I go extra super tiny.
Wait, you chop things into juice?
When you make sashimi, you slice the fish so thin it's nearly transparent. The pieces fall apart when I try to pick them up.
That's not even the best part. I can turn a fish into sashimi so quickly its bones keep on swimming away.
I think the fish might be a bit too fresh in that case.
And your angel hair pasta is thinner than actual hair. There's no possible way to cook it al dente. Don't cut your dough so thinly. Thicker pasta gives it soul and makes it hearty.
Sorry, but that's just how I do it. Any other way and it wouldn't be Rangetsu cooking.
Why do I even bother? It's like trying to reason with a brick wall.
Well, cutting takoyaki into slices is a bit much.
You might have me there. Okay, I'm sorry. I got carried away and wasn't thinking. Takoyaki has to be ball-shaped or it's not any good.
Exactly!
See? We can get him to agree on some things.
You say that like it's a good thing. I finally finished my culinary masterpiece! Eat your hearts out!
Wow! I can tell you put a lot of care into this, Magilou.
Yeah, it's really refined. There's a lot of subtlety to it.
Color me surprised. I figured the only thing you'd be good at concocting was poison.
You know what they say. Jack of one trade, master of many. Once you're a witch of my caliber, cooking comes naturally.
Are there really that many similarities between cooking and witchcraft?
Oh, so very many. For instance, the first steps in preparing a broth are the same as for brewing cursing concoctions.
Wow! I had no idea.
Cursing concoctions?
And the way you prepare the ingredients for a love potion can be readily applied to how you make simmered dishes.
Really?
Love potions?
Think of the similarities like this. In both witchcraft and cooking, you have to think about who's going to consume your creations. It's very important.
I think I understand what you mean. It's the way you put feeling into it.
No, don't listen to her!
From now on, you can't eat anything Magilou cooks for you until you had someone else test it first.
What? Why? What do you mean, test it?
Just make Bienfu eat some and see how he reacts.
That's a good idea. Let's go with that.
What?
Poor Laphicet, surrounded by women who wouldn't know a joke if it hit them upside the head. The trick to being a good cook is having a playful side.
How does it taste?
Oh, it's great.
You say that about everything you eat.
That's not true. I have a very refined palate. Eleanor's cooking is, you know, how do I put it? Her dishes have gotten more flexible.
Come again?
It's commanding, but not so rigid, and yet still representative of who she is.
I'm still not sure I follow.
I used to cook by following every recipe as precisely as possible, but I've learned to feel out the dishes a bit more. I decide how much seasoning to use, and I make adjustments to taste. Sometimes what I make doesn't turn out right, but it's more fun this way.
Wow, you really have changed, Eleanor.
That's what I meant when I said her dishes were flexible. I was right.
Rokurou, don't talk with your mouth full. You're getting food everywhere.
Sorry. I couldn't help myself.
You did it again. Look, it's all over your face. Act your age, Rokurou.
Sorry again.
There's something else I've been meaning to mention. Do you realize you hold your chopsticks incorrectly?
Oh, you noticed. It's an original way I came up with myself, because I didn't want to imitate Shigure growing up. Pretty nifty, ain't it?
No, it's not. It's horrible manners. Corrupted manners at the table leads to a corrupted soul. Hold your chopsticks properly.
I'm a demon, so I think that ship has already sailed.
Properly!
All right, fine. I don't think my Rangetsu's sword training was ever this strict.
Maybe Eleanor hasn't changed all that much.
All right, I'm done cooking. Dig in.
Eizen, I gotta say, your food tastes quite rich.
But not in a bad way. It's rich, but it's not overpowering.
Yeah, it's a very grown-up flavor. I could get attached to this.
Of course. I used a lot of my special ingredients.
Special ingredients?
That sounds oddly suspicious.
Normally, a master would never reveal his secrets. But I'll make an exception this one time. One of my secret ingredients is pirate mushrooms. Using them, you can make an excellent broth with a full-bodied flavor prized by the most discerning chefs.
That sounds kind of like bandit mushrooms, which can kill you in a single bite.
Indeed. Pirate mushrooms are quite rare and very difficult to differentiate from bandit mushrooms.
I also use a little something called the Reaper Pufferfish.
Isn't that fish so deadly poisonous that its juices could single-handedly put down an entire herd of elephants?
No more than a handful of chefs could prepare them in a way that would actually be edible.
Yeah, but the flavor is sublime. It'll make you think you've died and gone to heaven.
You don't mean that literally, right?
You prepared the fish yourself, yes? Just so we're clear?
Of course I did. I'm in charge of my own knife. I take full responsibility, from scratch to finish. That's just my way.
I think I'm starting to feel a little dizzy.
Me too. Reaper cooking is no joke. It's to be respected and feared.